Today we will learn about arithmetic mean, different formulas that are used to find out the average or the arithmetic mean. Now, first we will have a look at the calculations of a simple arithmetic mean, that is when individual observations are given. So when individual observations are given, you can always stick on to this formula, that is x bar is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus etc. xn divided by n, and that is equal to summation x by n. Now, in order to understand this formula a bit more, we will move on to a problem. That is, in the problem, we are given that the monthly income of 10 employees in an office. Okay, only that is given, and you are asked to find out the arithmetic mean or the average of incomes. So let's have a look. Now I have just constructed a table over here. I have 10 employees, and then I have the corresponding income. So my n is 10, and then what I will do, x bar is equal to summation x. Summation x means, yeah, you have to add up all the incomes and then divide it by the total number, that is 10. So you get the average income as 6265. So this is what you have to do when you get individual observations. Now there is a shortcut method for this. Now in the shortcut method, you can assume a mean from the given data, and then you can find out the deviations of items from the assumed mean, and you have to sum it up so that you get summation d, and you have to put back to the formula, that is x bar is equal to a plus a is the assumed mean plus summation d. What is summation d? The deviations of items from the assumed mean, the sum of deviations of items from the assumed mean divided by the total number. Okay, so that is how you can find out. So I'm going to do the same problem by using the shortcut method. So in a shortcut method, what I'm going to do is I have constructed a table over here. The income is given and the deviations, that it's d is equal to x minus, now in this case I have assumed the mean as 7000. So from 7000 I get all these values when I subtract the corresponding x's, and then I get the d's over here. All the d's are listed over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add all this up so that I get summation d is equal to what? Yeah, it is a negative term, that is 7350. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this by 10 so that I get minus 735. Now I'm putting back all what I got into the formula that is given over here, that is x bar is equal to a plus summation d divided by n, which is equal to 7000 minus 735, and that is equal to 6265. Now we will calculate the arithmetic mean when a discrete series or in a discrete scenario, that is when you are provided with frequency. So here again we are going for the direct method right now. So x bar is equal to summation f into x divided by n, where f is the frequency, x is the variable which is given in the question, n is the total number of observation. Now capital N is also you can write it as summation f, which is the sum of frequency. Now the steps that you have to follow is you have to multiply each variable with its corresponding f, and you have to find out the sum and then divide it by the capital N. Now these steps will be more clear when we do an example. Now this is the illustration. So here the table, you are given the marks and the number of students. What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the marks and number of students. So the number of students is what? F, right? So yeah, I just multiplied it with the corresponding number of students, and then I find out that summation f into x is what? 2460. So 2460 divided by 60 is equal to 41, and 41 is your average marks. Now this is a direct method. Now you have a shortcut method. So in a shortcut method, your formula is given as x bar is equal to a plus summation ft divided by n, where a is an assumed mean and d is the deviation of items from the variable. Now let's see how to work out this formula. Now you have to first assume a mean, then you have to take the deviations of the items from the assumed mean and denote it by d. You have to multiply that d with a frequency, and you have to take the sum divided by n. You will get the and you add up to the assumed mean, you will get the answer. Now let's have a look at the problem so it will be more clear. You have a marks, so the problem I have taken here is the above the previous problem itself. I have taken the marks into consideration, the frequency, then I have assumed my mean as 40, that is your capital A is 40 over here, so x minus 40, I got some values over here. Now f, that is this 8, this second column, you multiply it with the third column, you get what, fd, and then you sum this whole thing up, you will get 60. Then you put back this into your formula and you get the answer as what, 41. So here A is 40, f summation fd is what, the sum of, yeah, the multiplication of the second and third column, and you divide it by n. And what is n over here? It is the total number of observation, and that is 60. Okay, so that is this case. Then you have to calculate the arithmetic mean in the continuous scenario. So in a continuous scenario, now first we will look for the direct method. So in the direct method, the formula is x bar is equal to summation fm divided by n, where m is the midpoint of various classes, f is the frequency of each class, and n is the total frequency. So first of all, you might have to, so in some cases midpoints will be given to you, in some cases you have to find out the midpoint. So first thing that you have to do is, when a class is provided, you have to find out the midpoint and denote it by m. Then you have to multiply the corresponding frequencies with the midpoint and divide it by the total number, that is the total frequency, that is capital N. So let's have a look. So the illustration is given like this. You are provided with the table. The marks are given over here, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, up to 50 to 60, and the number of students is also given. Then what you have to calculate by using your arithmetic mean formula, that is x bar is equal to summation fm divided by n. So first of all, you have to construct a table. You have to find the midpoints from the classes that is provided, denoted by m. The number of students is given, denoted by f. Now you have to multiply the second and the third column, fm, so you get some numbers over here. You add these numbers, you get summation fm, and that is 3300 in this case, divided by 100. Okay, so that is the total number. You will get the solution or the answer as 33. Now again you have a shortcut method for this. Now in the shortcut method, your formula is this. So in the formula, what you have to do is, A is your assumed mean and D is the deviation of midpoints. So instead of x, it is the deviation of midpoints from the assumed mean, that is m minus a. Capital N is the total number of observations. Now first of all, as usual in a shortcut method, you will have to assume a mean. Then you have to find the midpoint. From the midpoint, you have to what? Yeah, further you have to find out the deviations between the midpoints and the assumed mean. You have to sum it up, so you get what, summation fd. Apply it in your formula, you will get the answer. Let's move on to an illustration. That is the previous problem itself. Here I have taken the midpoints, already I have taken it. Then I have the number of students, or the frequencies, corresponding frequencies are given as f. The next column is m minus 35. Okay, m minus 35, so that is also given over here, and then I have to find out fd. Now this is m minus 35, this column is d. Okay, this is d, this is d. Okay, that is the deviations between the midpoint and the assumed mean. So in this case, the assumed mean is 35. Okay, now you multiply the d with your f and you get some answers over here. Sum it up, you get minus 200. Put back this into your formula, you get the answer as 33. Now the next illustration is where you can find, might have observed that the marks given over here, they are not of equal intervals. So, and also the frequencies are also given here. So what is the thing that you have to do? Now here you have to find out the midpoint. So I just found out the midpoint of each class is over here, denoted by m. Then what I do is I find out what the number of students, that is I have also I have given the number of I was given with the number of students, so that also I found out. Then I found out d, that is what, m minus 45, and then I found out what, fd, that is d into f. Now m minus 45, I'm sorry, divided by 5. Now what is this 5? From where did this 5 came? Yeah, it is the class interval. So see, now since you don't have an equal class interval over here, you can take up 5 as the common class interval. So here I have taken 5 as my common class interval, and I'm going to do my procedures. Okay, so I just found out the deviations, and then I divided by 5, so I get d. After completing the table, I just put it back into my formula. Now in my formula over here, I'm going to multiply. The one thing I'm going to do extra is multiply this by I. Now what is I over here? I is again the interval that I have taken into consideration, that is the class interval, or you can say it as a class width. In this case I have taken it as 5, so I multiplied it by 5, and then I got the answer as 40.6. In some cases you get while doing the arithmetic mean or while taking up the data, you might miss out some values, or you might enter incorrect values. So in that scenario, what should you do? Now the problem is to find the correct mean. Now from the incorrect summation of the variables, you have to deduct the wrong items, and then you have to add the correct items, and then you have to divide the sum again, that is the corrected sum, by the number of observation. The result obtained will give you the correct value of the mean. Now let's move on to an example and find out how to how to encounter this problem. Now in this question you are given that the mean marks of 100 students are found out to be 40, and later on it was discovered that the score of 53 was misread as what, 83. Okay, now 53 is the correct score, and the person or the invigilator has misread it as 83, and he have entered 83 instead of 53. Now you have to find out the correct mean corresponding to the correct score. Now let's have a look. Now we are given that the x bar is equal to 40, n is equal to 30, n is equal to 100. So x bar is equal to summation x divided by n. You get the summation x as what, 4000. But is this a correct summation x? No, this is the wrong one. Now how to correct the whole thing, or how to correct the whole problem? Now the correct summation is equal to what, incorrect summation. Now in this case, what is the incorrect summation? 4000 minus the wrong item. Minus the wrong item means, from the question we know that the wrong item is 83, plus the correct item is what, 53, right? So just substitute all the values in this particular formula, you get 3970, and the correct x bar, or the correct mean, or the correct average is what, correct summation divided by n, which is equal to 3970 divided by 100 is equal to 39.7. So this is the correct average, right? Now there is another question. The mean of 100 observation is found to be 40 if at a time of computation 2 items, so earlier it was 1, now this time it is 2 items that are wrongly taken as 30 and 27 instead of 3 and 72. You have to find out the correct mean. Now the same method we are going to apply over here. X bar is 40, n is 100. You find out the summation, that is 4000. The 4000 is the incorrect summation. You have to less the incorrect items, or the wrong items, from 4000, and what we will get, yeah, the wrong items over here. From the question it is said that what, 30 and 27, right? So you have to deduct 57 from 4000, and you get 3943, and then you have to add 75, because it is said that what, 3 and 72 are the correct numbers, so 75 should be added, and then you will get the correct sum. So correct sum is what, 4018 divided by 100, it is 40.18. So that is how you find the correct mean. Now in some cases you will have the number of items, that is you will have to find out the arithmetic mean and the number of items when the number of items of two or more than two related groups are given. So it is easy to find, or it is easy to calculate the combined average of these groups. You just have to apply this particular formula. Now this formula, when you have to find out the combined averages, it is denoted by x12 bar. Okay, now what is x12 bar? N1 x1 bar plus N2 x2 bar divided by N1 plus N2, where x1 2 bar is the combined mean of two group, x1 bar is the arithmetic mean of the first, x2 bar is the arithmetic mean of the second, N1 is the number of items in the first group and N2 is the number of items in the second group. Now that was the formula. Now we will move on to an illustration. The mean height of 25 male workers in a factory is 61 inches and the mean height of 35 female workers in the same factory is 58 inches. Find the combined mean height of 60 workers in the factory. So let's have a look. Now x12 bar is equal to, you know the formula, you write down the formula. Now what is N1 over here? N1 denotes the number of N1 denotes the number of male workers and N2 denotes the number of female workers. So N1 is equal to 25, N2 is equal to 35. X1 bar is equal to the mean height of male workers, that is 61, and x2 bar is equal to the mean height of female workers, that is 58. Now you just have to substitute all these values in this particular formula. You will get what? 59.25, and that is the combined mean height of 60 workers. And what was that in this case? 59.25. I hope you all have understood the class. Thank you.